Good morning. Thanks for that introduction, and certainly appreciate being here. I was absolutely amazed at that last speech by Argonaut. I thought it was fantastic, and I will ask you to have a look at that speech and then apply what was said in that speech to Matsa Resources, because we absolutely support everything that's been said in that. But more importantly, what we've done is we've actually actioned those principles in that speech, and I'll explain to you why and how. Matsa Resources, this is a picture of our Fortitude gold trial pit that Matsa mined a couple of years ago. You see the waste dump. Further to the top, you start going over across to Lake Carey into our Binder gold mine. So that's an actual photo of as it stands today. A disclaimer, of course. The company itself, Matsa Resources, code is MAT. Naturally, we're ASX listed. Top 20 shareholders have 55% of the company, and we've got a current market cap of $18 million. We've been smashed with all the other gold companies out there. I note Argonaut said that gold stocks are down 18%. We're probably down about 40%. Reason we're down that much is because we were purely gold focused, and we had the Red October gold mine that did not perform, and we suffered the consequences of that. Of course, we are no longer mining at Red October and haven't done so for about 12 months. The board, highly experienced. We've been with the company now for about 10 years, most of us. Pascal joined us several years ago and has been a fantastic addition to us. In fact, instrumental in helping us change the company around and guiding the company to where it's going to go in the next year or so. The company, we like to call it a gold focus with a twist of lithium. And that is our first entree into what Argonaut was saying. Gold and lithium are the future assets, certainly within the next several to 20 years. And we fully support that, and that's what we've modelled the company on. Our gold project in Lake Carey, Western Australia, 240 kilometres northeast of Kalgoorlie, 886,000 ounces of gold at a 2.4 gram average resource. JORC compliant, of course. We've got substantial drilling targets that we intend to drill in the very near term. And we then have got some stunning lithium prospects in Thailand, which I'll talk to you a little bit more as well. So currently we have 940 odd square kilometres of ground applied for in Thailand, and we'll talk about that. Interestingly, also supporting Argonaut's concept of what's interesting in the next few years is we've got some pretty interesting copper projects as well, which again, I'll try and touch bases on if we can. Lake Carey, it's our flagship project, just under 500 square kilometres, as I said, 240 kilometres northeast of Kalgoorlie. We currently have 26 quality gold targets there. At Lake Carey, we've got 3 gold mines. One is a fully operational mine, which is Red October. Fortitude Gold is a fully permitted mine, ready to go mining. And we've got Devon, which is a gold mine on a mining lease, which is subject to a transaction right now, which secures funding for what we want to do and what we will talk about now. Importantly, at Lake Carey, we have multiple opportunities to add significant gold resources in the very near term. And when I say very near term, I'm saying within 6 months. The actual transaction that's going to help us there is with Linden Gold Alliance. We first touted a transaction in December of 2021, and it's been almost 12 months for us to get to this point. They certainly had some struggles getting to where they have today. We've worked with them, but we now have an agreement that I think is exceptional for Matsa, and for that matter, I think it's exceptional for Linden Gold as well. The transaction that we are currently looking is centred on the Devon Pit. It's a joint venture at Devon, which is a mine that can go into production, we think, certainly within 18 months to 24 months. We think that it'll be fully permitted within 9 to 12 months. There is a trial mine that was done there by GME some 4 years ago, and their production was open pit ore of over 5 grams per tonne. So I think we can certainly be assured of its profitability. I think we're looking at about a $40 to $50 million potential cash surplus at Devon, and that'll be shared between Linden Gold and Matsa Resources. Importantly for Matsa Resources, we anticipate receiving a prepayment of that profit for $3.9 million no later than the 9th of December. That is some 20 days, not quite. We have had meetings with Linden as recently as last week, and their capital raising looks quite good. So we're pretty excited about a relationship with Linden, but that certainly assists us in us achieving what we want to do. Cash injection 9th December of $3.9 million, and one hopes over the next 2 to 3 years, injections of up to $20 million. Risk-free to Matsa, because we are free carried in that mine. I think that itself justifies our existing current market cap of 18 million. Overall, the Lake Carey Gold Project itself shares resources at Red October, a couple of 100,000 ounces at 6 grams per tonne. Fortitude Gold, just under 500,000 ounces at around 1.9 grams per tonne. That is a fully approved mine ready to go right now. Interestingly, with Dacian, that are seeking expressions of interest to fill their mill is 85 kilometres away from us. We've got 2.7 million tonnes of ore ready to go into that plant if we come to an agreement. Fortitude itself, we did some forecasts a couple of years ago, so perhaps some of those costs might be out of date. The gold price is certainly out of date. We did that at $2,400. Current gold price of just over $2,600 could well counteract the increase in operating costs. That's currently looking at producing $95 million positive cash flow. That is based having our own mill, which had operating costs of $32 a tonne and haulage costs of $4 a tonne. So we think that is a very profitable and highly desirable asset. For a company with 18 million market cap, I think we're significantly undervalued. The Devon Pit I've already spoken about, but what I would like to add is when we're talking $40 million potential profit or cash surplus, that was done at an optimised pit of $2,000 an ounce, and the gold price revenue was $2,250 an ounce. So if you multiply 40,000 ounces potential production by $400 increased gold price, I think you start seeing this to be a very attractive proposition. Lake Carey itself, as I said, is a highly prospective piece of ground. It is significantly underexplored, and that's principally because of Lake Carey itself. With the advent and the more common availability of lake rigs, it certainly opened it up for exploration. Matsa has not been active over the last 18 months for exploration, and the reason for that is funding. We lacked that funding. With the deal with Linden Gold, that opens up our capacity to do significant exploration. We get the money on the 9th of December, we expect to be drilling in January. Our first target will be Fortitude North, and then you can see the other substantial targets that are available. Fortitude North itself is drill ready, POWs are all approved, we've already got everything designed up, ready to go. In our 888,000 ounces resource that we claim, there is not 1 ounce at Fortitude that forms part of that resource. We are very confident that we can delineate a minimum of 379,000 ounces, maybe 600,000 ounces within the next 12 months, spending a few $1 million. In fact, we think we can probably find 300,000 ounces spending less than $1 million within the next 6 to 9 months. And that's what we intend doing. Funding should be there. We will be drilling in the northern part, which does not require lake rigs, prove that up, and then we'll go to the south where lake rigs will be required. Red October, talking to Pascal before today. Red October is not about the past. Red October is about the future. The past, we got it wrong. The future, we will get it right. There is 200,000 ounces at 6.2 grams per tonne. That's what's there right now. We are very confident that if we were to drill into the lionfish, which is very close to existing access underground, we think we can do very cheaply drilling and find another 200,000 ounces very quickly. If you have an underground mine that's fully developed, fully open, as it is all the way down to the bottom today, and you've got 400,000 ounces, and if you can average 6 grams per tonne, it has to be a winner. No doubt in our minds, and we'll prove that. We've got several companies right now that are talking to us about acquiring it, and those discussions are ongoing. I'm going to skip a few pages, and I want to talk about Thailand. Thailand, to us, is extremely interesting. We, 18 months ago, again, Pascal and I sat down and said, what's the future of Matsa? Absolutely entrenched in gold. We are committed to gold. We think gold will be excellent potential over the next 2 years. But we wanted to add to that. And we thought, like everyone else, lithium is the way to go. How do you get a project in particularly Western Australia, but how do you find a project in Australia for lithium today? We've got no idea. You talk to Ken Brinsden, he's telling us that you're not going to find another substantial project in Australia. They've all been discovered. Pretty much I agree. I am chairman of another company that looks like it's found a fantastic project, Bulletin Resources, but I'll let Mark Zar talk about that one. So what we decided is, where can we go in the world to find lithium? You know, we're not really interested in Africa. It's a bit hard for us. Canada, I think we should leave to the Canadians and the Americans. Probably a small company, $18 million market cap. We can't do anything there. South America's hard. So we looked to Southeast Asia. Forget Cambodia, forget Laos, forget Myanmar. So we come up with Thailand. I will say that the corruption in Thailand is very low. For a Southeast Asian company, the corruption in Thailand is very, very low. What corruption exists is business to business. The Thai government is entrenched in their legislation and they absolutely adhere to it. The single problem with Thailand is the lack of investment by the company in information technology. And that's the struggle in Thailand. You overcome that, and I strongly suggest to you that Thailand will be a force in mining, particularly in Southeast Asia, in the next few years. We've had a presence in Thailand for 10 years, and we've been struggling with that lack of information, but we've overcome it. We had substantial granting of copper projects in Thailand. We had a fair bit of success in delineating some copper mineralised zones. But we think Thailand is very attractive from an investment proposition, widespread speaking English, very strong British-based law, highly prospective ground. And lo and behold, when we examined it even further, we saw the success. Pan Asia, code is PAM, ASX listed. Current market cap today, $66 million, and they have lithium. So that made us think. So what did we do? We had a good look at it. We looked at a 600-kilometre long area of land in Thailand, in the Western Granite Belt. We examined the contact areas. We then realised Thailand used to be one of the world's major supplier of tin and tantalum. So all of a sudden you've got tin and tantalum, you've got granite, you've got contact zones. We then looked at mag surveys, and then we saw Pan Asia that's got lithium deposits. They've actually got a resource, 10 million tonnes. We thought, hang on, no one's looked at this in detail. And Pan Asia were the first movers. I absolute credit to those guys. They were there by themselves. But we fully support what they've done. They've done a fantastic job. So we've gone ahead and picked up 900 square kilometres of ground. It will be granted with parts of it early next year. And I'm running out of time, but our Phang Nga project, 4 kilometres worth of strike, and we have picked up substantial lepidolite lithium samples. We've brought them back to Perth and we'll have them tested. We've put them through a LIBS unit and it's confirmed lepidolite. Lepidolite is not a swear word. Might be in Australia, because you can't process lepidolite in Australia, and everybody wants spodumene, but we had a discussion yesterday with Chinese processors in Jiangxi province that only process lepidolite. They have got capacity for 1.6 million tonnes of DSO product only for lepidolite, and they are currently producing 30,000 tonnes of lithium carbonate, and they want to go to 60,000 tonnes. Our project in Phang Nga is railway connected to their mills. The lithium at Phang Nga is highly valuable to those Chinese markets. Sadly, I've run out of time, but I would love to talk to you at our booth. Pascal and I will be here all day. I think we've got a very, very exciting story. Thank you.